Nerd Army, can we talk? Have a seat. I'd like to talk to you. This is a serious talk that's about to happen. And this is not going to be like any of our normal videos. I need to tell you something. It's been on my chest for a while, and I've known since I was little. Just sit down and listen, please. Thank you. Alright, Nerd Army, get ready. It's going to be a bumpy one today. And as always, I'm Nerdy number 3. And today is going to be a very special video to me. So prepare yourselves, because I don't know if you realize, but the introduction, but this will be a very, very different video. And I know this isn't my studio, but welcome to my bedroom, specifically my bed corner. So enjoy that. In honor of Pride Month, I decided that I would do a video explaining why I prefer to be called they, them, if you don't know the pronoun for me that day. A few videos ago, I mentioned how I am, with an umbrella term, non-binary. Now, the definition of non-binary is not related to, or composed of, or involving just two things. Now, when you think of the word binary, you could probably think of binary code, which is zeros and ones that the computer uses. Just the two numbers, zeros and ones. Now, if you were to consider that for gender, you could think, well, 0 as females or males, whichever you feel comfortable with, and ones as males or females. But being non-binary is not being just those two. You're both, or neither. That's what non-binary means. I am gender fluid. Now this means that I can go from being male to female to neither in just one day or just 1 week. However, today is actually one of my masculine days, which means that my pronouns for today are he, him. I also have a masculine name, which is Isaac. That is my name for when I have masculine days. For the most part, most of my friends call me Isaac whenever I have male days such as today. Some of my family do. It's not really a lot, but we're still working on it. Me being gender fluid has affected the relationships that I have with people. If you were to get into a relationship with a gender fluid person, you have to be accepting of them being gender fluid. You have to be okay with using their pronouns according to that specific day, hour, minute, whatever. And like I said, if you just don't know, you call them they or them. Being gender fluid has affected a lot of my relationships with my friends. Usually with my female friends, because they don't quite try to understand. That's probably why I have a lot of male friends, because I don't really have female friends that try to stick around anymore. I have maybe 1 or 2 female friends, maybe 3. So there's not that many that actually stick around. Because after I come out to them or tell them, hey, I'm gender fluid, I identify as this for this day and that for this day and whatever, they don't really appreciate that. I've noticed. I've also noticed that when you try to come out to a guy friend, they're pretty accepting for it, unless they have a crush on you. When they have a crush on you, when you come out to them, it's a totally different story. Then they try to say, oh, I'm not gay, or something like that, and it offends you, because you don't choose to be that way. It's something else. I've lost about 100 or so friends coming out as gender fluid, and it's mentally taking a toll on you every time it happens, to the point where you're just gonna end up getting numb to the fact of people leaving you. It has caused me to have very bad abandonment issues. So when someone comes into my life, I expect them to stay in my life after I come out to them, but that doesn't always happen. It's a change. Always a change whenever someone leaves because you're gender fluid. Me, personally, I have maybe 2 or 3 other gender fluid friends. Not that many, but we're kind of a rare breed. I realized that I was gender fluid when I was in the 7th grade. And how I realized that was that I didn't feel I fit into a female's body. I felt that me being a female was just not, it wasn't so cookie cutter female, you know? I wasn't that stereotypical female. Even a non-stereotypical female, I didn't feel right. I didn't feel right in women's clothing some days, so I was like, what is going on here? And some days I even tried wearing men's clothes. I would shop in the men's clothing section and I would find a shirt at the very least to wear, and then I'd try it on those days where I didn't feel female and it felt right. And if I tried it on the days that I felt female, it just didn't feel right. And I know that's probably just like, okay, maybe you're just a tomboy on some days. No, I didn't feel female at all. I didn't want to feel female on those days. I wanted to feel like one of the guys because I had a lot of guy friends at that time. I still do have a lot of guy friends, now that I think about it. Then when I realized that I felt like one of the guys on those days, I was like, maybe I am a guy on those days. So what I did was I looked it up. I looked up what it meant to be feeling the way I felt. When I looked it up, I found very interesting results. I found non-binary, I found gender fluid, I found all these terms that I didn't know of. And I read through every single one that I could find. And I came to the conclusion that I was gender fluid. I did a lot of research on it. And every time I read through a different website on what it meant, I felt like I knew more and more about myself, and I felt like it connected to me and it was targeting me. I stayed closeted as gender fluid since the 7th grade. Some of my friends found out, they just knew, and some didn't, which was okay. I didn't mind it. I started to come out to my family when I was 18 or 19. And me personally, it was really hard. I didn't come out to my family as a whole, like most people do, where they come out to their parents first and then their siblings. No, I came out to all of them one by one by one by one. I think the first one to know was probably my brother, and then it was my mom, then my younger sister, my older sister, and my dad. That's pretty much the order I believe it went in. I was terrified to come out because I'm the only non-cisgendered child in my family. Being cisgendered means that you identify as the gender you were born with. So my sisters are my sisters. My brother is my brother. However, if you look at me, I'm not a sister or a brother. I'm a child. I'm a sibling. Because you never know what I am that day or that hour or that minute. I am a child. I am a sibling. And once my siblings have children, I'll be a pibling, which is a parent sibling. And so on and so forth. Once I have a child, I'll be a parent. I won't be a mom or a dad, I'll be a parent. Now, the gender neutral terms are great for people that are gender fluid because, like I said, you never know what they are that day. So you don't want to assume and get them offended. I have days where I do feel very offended when my siblings call me their sister or something like that. Because I know they're trying, they're just saying it out of habit sometimes, and sometimes it feels like they just don't want to accept it yet. I have a lot of friends that call me by both of my names. They call me by my birth name and by Isaac. Either one, I'm okay with hearing, especially on my they/them days where I just don't know which one I am myself, or I just don't feel like a certain one. I will be gender neutral for that day. So I wouldn't mind being called either one. And that happens sometimes. It doesn't happen a lot because usually I know whether it's a mass day or a femme day. A mass day is a masculine day where I feel more masculine. I feel more like a male than a female. And my femme days are my female days. Those are the days that I will probably wear tight stuff. Not really tight. Where I'll wear skinny jeans and some like boots or something. But on my mass days, you can usually tell by me wearing a hat, or by me wearing the cologne that I have, or like a really loose shirt or a hoodie. I don't have a lot of masculine clothes, so I pretty much work with what I have at the moment. Being gender fluid affects everything that I do. It affects my mood. It affects my attitude towards people. It affects how I treat other people. It affects what I do for other people. Such as if it's my feminine day, I probably just don't hold the door open. I expect the door to be held open. But on my masculine days, I hold the door open because I know from a female perspective, that's what I would have wanted to happen to me, if that makes sense. No, I do not want to change my sex at all. No, I am not going to be using testosterone. Being gender fluid also affects my job or going to school, because me personally, I would prefer people to call me the pronouns or the gender that I identify for that day. I would rather someone not call me something that I look like. I know I look feminine, but sometimes I have my masculine days and I don't want to be called a female on a masculine day. I try to tell my employer or my coworkers or my peers and teachers that I would rather not be called that day and that my pronoun is this for that day. That adds a lot of confusion because sometimes your employers are not so accepting to that and they say, well, you're born this way, so you're going to be called this way, or on your application you have it this way, so you get called that way, or whatever. So it adds a lot of stress sometimes to be working in that type of environment on those types of days, because you know you can't say anything about it. Same thing with teachers. Teachers will do the same thing. Peers and coworkers will try to understand sometimes, depending on if they're in your age range or not. So it's very different to be doing it in public than to do it at home. Because at home you can just say, hey, it's this day, and everyone will call you that pronoun. But at work or at school, they will not always do that. And unfortunately, it's a double whammy for me, because not only am I gender fluid, but I am also pansexual. And I will explain exactly what pansexual is after I finish saying what I need to say about being gender fluid. If you, my nerd army, my nerd soldiers, especially my loyal ones that have been here since about day one, if you guys don't know what day it is, I would very, very much like it if you guys would just call me they, them in the comment section, because you never know what day I'm reading it, or what day it is when I upload, or even when I film. So I would just rather you guys call me they, them in the comment section. That would be very greatly appreciated, instead of you guys calling me she, her, because I look female. Thank you. Love you guys. Being pansexual means that you love everyone for what's in their heart rather than what's between their legs, or what they identify to have between their legs. That means I would gladly date males, females, trans men, trans women. I don't care. Me being gender fluid, I don't have room to judge someone based on what they identify their gender on. I judge them based on what's in their hearts and how they act around people. So that makes me pansexual, because I don't care about your body, I care about your heart. I used to think that I was bisexual. I became bi-curious when I was in about 5th grade. So I went from straight to bi-curious in 5th grade. Being bi-curious means you're not sure if you're attracted to that gender yet. So you test it, and if you test it and you actually like it, then you're most likely bisexual, but you still aren't sure, so you're bi-curious. Going to about 7th grade, I'd say, I realized that I was bisexual. I started to realize, hey, I like chicks and I like men. I don't have a preference. And then I would say about maybe 3 weeks ago, I realized that I was pansexual, because I don't care what is on someone's body. I don't care what is between their legs. I don't care what their gender is. I honestly just like people for what they act like and who they are, rather than what they are. If I were to be asked why I'm a part of the LGBT community, I would say I am gender fluid pansexual. This causes a lot of people to leave because I am 2 in 1. It's normal. So this is me coming out to you guys. This is me telling my nerd army that I am gender fluid and pansexual, and I'm okay with that. And if you're not okay with that, I will tell you in the most blunt way possible, you need to get off of my YouTube page, because times are changing where you need to accept everyone as they are, not for who they love or what they identify as. That's just not right. I will hope that all of you will accept me for this Pride Month, and I know this video is going to come out later, but I promise I'm filming this during Pride Month, and I will show you 2 different pictures of me. One from when I'm on my masculine days. As you can see, this is what I look like. And then here's me on my feminine days, and you can definitely tell the difference of how I feel, how I present myself. And during my last videos, I know you guys are wondering why I didn't wear a hat if I did have mask days. It's because I didn't want to ruin the surprise. I told you guys that I have an umbrella term of being non-binary in my face reveal video. Personally, I am going to start getting a little more comfortable showing you guys the 2 different sides of me. For those of you who are part of the LGBT community and have not come out yet, it's okay. It is completely okay. I waited until I was about 18 or 19 years old to come out to everyone. And I just recently came out to my entire social media. So this is me coming out to all of my nerd army. Like I said before, you don't have to come out until you're ready. If you're part of our community and you don't know whether you're going to be accepted or not, that is okay. I didn't either. And if you come out and you're not accepted, then you got me. I will adopt you into my family. I will become your parent, your LGBT parent. I wouldn't mind it, because you guys mean a lot to me. If you come out and you're not accepted, know you're accepted here. On this YouTube channel, you're accepted. If you are accepted in your home after coming out, then I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you. I'm happy that you are accepted. And if you haven't come out yet because you're too scared, that's okay. You come out when you're ready. You come out when you feel you should come out. There is no certain age of when you should come out. There is no certain time frame of when you should come out. You just come out whenever you're ready. And if that takes 20, 30 years, 40 years, that's okay. If it takes 5 years, that's okay. As long as you're true to yourself, that's all that matters. And if you're not accepted by everyone, it's okay. You don't need to be accepted by everyone. Not everyone is going to accept you. That's a given. Not everyone is going to accept you. You're going to be called different names. And I know you're scared of that. I was scared of it too. I still get called names. But it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Because you're being true to yourself. And I'm being true to myself. Now, if you were wondering what the gender fluid flag looks like, I'll put a picture of it right here. And if you wanted to know what the pansexual flag looked like, it's right here. So there's the flags. And if you see any of those in my posts or in my room or my studio, then it's just those meanings. Nerd Army, can we talk? I need to tell you something. I'm gender fluid and I'm pansexual, and I know most of you won't understand. I'm being true to myself. I'm telling you out of love, out of respect, that I am gender fluid and pansexual, so I love everybody, and I feel like I'm every gender possible. I have a masculine name. It's Isaac, spelled I-S-S-A-K, and I would rather that you guys use my gender neutral pronouns so that I don't feel offended. Thank you.